Hello, I'm James Preston, and welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. In this episode, I'll be shining a light on Camplify Holdings Limited. Camplify connects holidaymakers with thousands of caravans, motorhomes, and campers for outdoor adventures in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and even Spain. And to talk us through the finer points of the company, CEO Justin Hales joins me now on Kalkine. Justin, great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you, James. Thanks for having me.
Well, Justin, first and foremost, for those who might not be familiar with Camplify, can you take us through exactly what it is that you do and how you came up with the concept?
Yeah, so Camplify is kind of a little bit like Airbnb. We're a peer-to-peer sharing platform. We make it really simple for owners of all different types of RVs to be able to connect together with people who want to hire them for all different types of reasons and be able to provide all the things that both parties need to transact online. So, we provide insurance, we provide management of contracts, the money that exchanges hands. So, we're really the core glue that holds those two parties together from a transaction perspective. So, that's essentially what we do. In terms of the I come up with the concept, it was really one of those things that I wanted to solve a problem for myself. And I found that I wanted to go away on holidays with my wife and our dog. And to be able to rent something that we could find that suited our needs in our local area was really hard to do. So, we started looking into the options of, how we could rent something, and, we're kind of talking about this holiday every day as we're walking around our neighborhood. And it just sort of dawned on me that every 100 meters or so, I was walking past someone's RV just sitting in their driveway, and thought, it'd be great if I could unlock all those RVs for people to be able to rent on demand. And so that's what we've created.
And when did you start the business?
We came up with the concept in 2014 and launched it in early 2015.
Wonderful. Yeah, quite a quick turnaround. It just reminds me, I used to have a next door neighbor that had a boat there that sat in the driveway for probably 50 of the 52 weeks of the year, and it was just collecting dust, and then it had to have a big clean before it got wet again. So you're 100% right. It's always good to find that little niche where you can get that extra income passively, really, from just what you already own.
Yeah, exactly right. That's it.
Well, Justin, obviously borders are beginning to open back up and restrictions are easing. People are looking to travel again. Have you seen an uptake in bookings through your platform? And where do you see the bulk of the traction coming? Is it in those larger camper vans or something a bit smaller?
Yeah, so I guess, we've been growing pretty steadily over the last few years. We've seen a CAGR over the last 3 to 4 years of over 100%. In terms of our key operating metrics. So, we've been growing really steadily. And, I think from our perspective, COVID has just helped us sort of accelerate through that. So, we've been able to provide easy, safe domestic holidays for customers in all the different countries we operate in. But particularly in Australia, we've been able to provide a flexible holiday arrangement where people can have everything self-contained. And then they can, choose wherever they go. And depending on, if there's a border restriction, or they can stay inside the state, can stay inside certain regions, or they can, opens up opportunities to go to other areas. So, we've really seen an acceleration through this period. And since the lockdowns from the Delta variant have, come to an end, we're starting to see that acceleration into the busy season that we see. So we're a very seasonal business, and we see sort of that summer period, really ramping up for us at the moment. So we're really pleased with where the business is at, and really pleased with us being able to continue those growth patterns that we've seen over the last few years, and really put the foot down and accelerate a little bit more. So it's been a really excellent position that we've put ourselves into, and being able to really take advantage of people wanting to go away on holidays again, which is great.
Well, you mentioned there that you're somewhat of a seasonal business. Is there any strategies you try and implement when it's not the summer period, for example, to try and spike up business a bit for yourself?
Yeah, I think what we've seen is obviously we're now in 2 different hemispheres. So we're operating in the UK, Spain, and Australia and New Zealand at the moment. And those two seasonalities are totally reversed. So, we do see some consistency there in some income, but obviously Australia makes up right now the bulk of our revenue and our gross transactions. So it will always be really the peak of what we're doing in the market. But we certainly have looked very closely at what we do from a revenue perspective over the last few years. And unlike other marketplaces where take rate does get affected in terms of a degradation as those marketplaces grow, we've actually seen the reverse. Now take rate is increasing. So we've grown it from over the last few years around the 23%. Now we're sort of trending up to the high 25%, so 25.7% most recently. So we're growing that revenue, and we're doing that from having additional products and services, as well as seeing an increase in booking valuations through the platform. So it means that we're able to get some consistency in some of that revenue as well. So we have products like our GPS subscription product. We have our product which we call Premium Membership, which is kind of the next evolution up for someone who starts renting their vehicle out through us and starts to grow a micro business. So we have this subscription model for them. And then we've recently launched an online ordering platform for people to be able to actually order RVs through our platform direct from the manufacturer. So there's all these different revenue streams now coming together, and all these new products that enable us to have some consistency in terms of what we're seeing, as well as see that seasonality from the bookings perspective.
And how many people are utilizing the platform, both in terms of those who are looking to rent out a camper van that they own and those who are actually looking to rent it?
Yeah, so we have over 6,200 RVs on the platform at the moment, and sort of well over the 75,000 accounts on the platform of people looking to rent. So we've been growing that fairly steadily. I think in the last 12 months we added around 50,000 new accounts, but we're seeing as well as this growth in customers that it's been quite significant year on year. That we're also now seeing around about 20% of our bookings coming from existing customers as well. So we're getting that good returning customer retention, as well as a lot of new customers coming to the platform. So sort of best of both worlds at the moment.
Now, of course, you mentioned you got the idea from seeing so many different RVs just sitting idly in the driveway. If people do want to take advantage of the fact that they've got one and they want to get some passive income, what's the process in terms of renting it out with your platform, and how much do they usually make by doing so?
Yeah, look, we've made it really super simple for people to be able to rent their RVs out. So, literally it takes about 10 minutes to sign up, fill out all your information, get your ID checked, provide us with some photos. We do a rego check on your vehicle, and then you have an online meeting with one of our customer success people to take you through the training on sort of how to do it, what you need to do. We make sure your insurance is correct. We can get you started in a casual insurance method, and then once you're starting to really utilize the platform, we can move you into a more permanent insurance model, which provides a better outcome for you. So it's really super simple to start. I think our record from someone starting the sign-up process to getting their first booking is 4 minutes. Wow. It's really effective, and you're live on the platform straight away. You can start getting inquiries and go through that process. So really easy to do it. So we've really made sure that we've thought about both sides of the market, how they actually, what the things they need to do from someone who's never done this before. How do we build all those things into our app to help them and guide them through the rental process? We've made it just super simple.
And when they're uploading it there, what kind of process do you guide them through? Is there a rough price guide of what you believe each RV, for example, it might be a very, very particularly impressive one, quite large with built-in bathrooms and that sort of stuff. Do you have a rough price range where you say, okay, you have a certain level of RV, thus you can charge for that, or is it completely up to the person uploading it?
Yeah, so we have a pricing calculator that customers use that gives them an idea about what their vehicle's worth. So we can see provide them some sort of range of what it might be worth. And during that process, when you talk to the customer success consultant, they'll take you through, how to go and evaluate some other vehicles on the platform, look at what they're sort of doing. And we have customers that go through that process really quickly. They set different pricings for peak times versus off peak, out of season times, to allow them to get maximum sort of return on their vehicle through that different demand periods. We see that as these customers sort of start on our platform and evolve into that premium member, so someone who's renting their vehicle out for more than 45 days a year, that they sort of average out at that top end at around about $10,000 per vehicle that someone will get per annum in terms of their return. So, when they're investing roughly, the average sort of caravan RV in Australia at the moment sort of sits around about $65,000. They're earning 10 grand a year out of it and still being able to use it themselves. It's a pretty good return.
Absolutely. So what would you say the best tips are in terms of those looking to rent RVs? What should they be looking out for? And does your platform help to guide them in finding the perfect fit for them?
Yeah, so I think the great thing for the hirer is that you're talking directly to the person that actually owns the vehicle. So you're getting a vehicle that is set up for them. It has all the extras in it. It'll have the off-road capability if you want that, or it'll have the off-grid solar panels and you name it from that perspective. So you're getting sort of that next level up from what you traditionally might have got through a normal rental agency. And then you can actually ask questions direct to the person that owns that vehicle. So if you're not sure about, can my car tow this, or would you take this vehicle to this location, or would you recommend this type of trip? Can you give me any tips on it? Then the owner is more than willing to engage with you and provide you all that feedback. So, really it's just trying to find something that you like the look of, starting that process, starting to talk to the owner of the vehicle and getting that information directly from them because they're the expert.
Absolutely. Now, you made a mention that you've actually grown quite significantly during COVID. A lot of businesses have struggled. They've just been trying to sustain and withstand realistically the pressures that have been forced on them from the virus and from government crackdown. Can you go into a bit of detail about how you did achieve such fantastic growth during the last, say, 12 months or even 24 months?
Yeah, I think a lot of traditional businesses have struggled where they've got a model, they're cemented in that model. To shift and move and change that model is complicated. Because we're such a relatively young company and we've built our company 100% on the back of the lean startup methodology, we're able to shift, pivot, change, add in new features, you name it, as challenges come up and as we get feedback from customers. And we've continually built the business based on the feedback we've got from the user so that we know that it's going to be successful. And so when COVID hit, we started to think about how do we make this platform work for these customers, and how the customer demand going to change now that the pandemic has hit and have this impact from a customer's perspective. So we did things like we built a fully automated credit system within the first sort of 7 days of the pandemic hitting. So when people couldn't go away, they could get an automated credit straight into their account. They could use that credit then to book again in the future, and it was all inside their control to be able to do it. So we wanted to be able to empower the user, and so we start to build these things into the platform to really help and make sure that they can do and cope with the changing nature of travel due to COVID. And we've done things like we've built a fully automated contactless handover procedure inside our app for hirers and owners, and all these things. We just sort of thought about every step of the way, what might happen, how can we use our technology platform in our business to really solve that problem, and we've done it well.
Yeah, that's absolutely ingenious. How do you see Camplify evolving over the next 12 months? Will there be more of that integration where you're just incorporating user feedback to continue to improve it? Do you think that you'll see enormous growth?
Yeah, look, I think our platform is really core to what we do. It's a proprietary technology. It's all built in-house. We have our own team of developers that have crafted this from from start to finish, and that means that we're able to really hone in on what the customer needs and develop those things for them. It also means that we're able to bring in new features and new product development and additional revenue lines into the platform as we find them. So for us, it's about building out that technology roadmap and making the platform even better for our users, providing that great solution for them. But really, it's about growing in the markets that we're in at the moment. So we still have less than 1% total addressable market in every single market we're operating, despite the growth patterns that we've been on. It's just a huge opportunity in every market that we operate in. So, really excited about really ramping things up even more in all those markets.
Is it a market that's somewhat saturated by competitors, or do you kind of stand alone in what you do?
Yeah, look, I think in most of the markets we operate in now, we've really, there has been a lot of competitors, but due to just our insatiable demand to satisfy the user from their requirements and really provide a great solution to them, a lot of those competitors are sort of fallen away. But we've been able to really position ourselves well. And I guess if you look at it from a traditional perspective, so somebody who is a rental fleet owner and providing that rental fleet, our traditional competitors might be Tourism Holdings Limited, who operate Brits and Maui and a bunch of other brands, or Apollo Tourism, who operate the Apollo brand and Star RV and a bunch of other brands in that market. So we compete against those guys in various different markets, including in Australia and New Zealand and the UK. However, what we've found is that we've really solved a problem for people who are looking to activate in that local neighbourhood. We provide the biggest distribution of stock. We provide the most unique range of stock. We provide a huge value proposition for those customers as well. So we can compete with them in a really economical way. And we're able to just provide overall sort of a really great solution to both sides of their marketplace. And what we've also seen is that those operators have actually, due to the pandemic and the pressures on their businesses, have actually sold down their fleet. So they have less fleet available than they did pre-pandemic, and we have more fleet available than we did pre-pandemic. So we're in a great position to be able to sort of service that user demand from an inquiry perspective.
Well, Justin, it all looks very exciting moving forward for Camplify. Is there any final thoughts you'd like to offer to our viewers?
Yeah, look, just that we're a high growth company. We always have been since day one. We've got a lot of growing to do in front of us. We're really focused on servicing the demand that we're seeing every day from people wanting to be part of this platform, developing the world's best platform, and just making sure that we're listening to our customers and continuing the patterns that we've been on. So yeah, look, a lot of upside and a lot of potential, and really exciting journey for us in the next few years.
And lastly, where can we find you?
LinkedIn. We post a lot of business information on LinkedIn, both through our Camplify channels and through my personal channel as well. We're very active on all other social platforms, Instagram, Facebook, etc. And obviously, Australia's largest range of RVs at camplify.com.au.
Absolutely. Justin, been a pleasure chatting, mate, and all the best for the future.
Thank you.
That's Justin Hales, the CEO of Camplify Holdings Limited. And if you missed any part of that chat, all you have to do is head across to our YouTube channel, Kalkine Media. You can catch the entire interview there. I'm James Preston, reminding you to stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.